A few weeks ago, I was asked about my Touchmark and if I forged it myself, and the answer is yes, and I will show you how I did that. For this project, I need some pretty tough material. This happens to be the cutting edge off of an old dozer. I don't exactly know what type of steel it is, but I know that it gets very hard and it's pretty tough material. That's actually what this Touchmark is forged from. And so I'm just going to cut a little skinny piece off the edge of this and go from there. First thing is I need to consolidate this material. Get some of the rust knocked off of there. So this is formed out the way I need it. So this end was where I cut, and then this was the other end. So it has a chamfer. I do not need that. So I need to flatten this off. But I did want to talk about what I did to this. So I normalized it one cycle. So I got it hot, let it sit out in the air and cool down completely. Then I put it back in my forge, heated it up again, and then I left it inside the forge. So I sealed my forge off to anneal it. And so this is soft enough that it's easier on my files because this is all file work from here on out. Okay, so I have to get this stuck to there. I have some super glue for that. Now my tips for this is that whatever your mark is, just remember that it has to be backwards on for your touch mark to come out the right way. Not a big deal. You just have to do the inverse. And then also don't get your fingers stuck to this. And then I would also suggest to try to make it as small as possible, because it's easier to put your mark on something if it's small. You start getting a bigger mark and then smaller projects, it becomes more and more difficult. So I have this done. It is very tiny, and I think that it will work. Now what I use to test it is a block of wood, because I don't have any Play-Doh or plasticine laying around. So this is ready to go. I just need to soften these edges with a little bit of sandpaper. I'm just going to use some 400 grit and just brush this real quick just to get the sharp edges off. And then I'm ready to heat treat. So I'm going to heat treat like normal, and then I'm going to put this in my toaster oven to temper it just so I know it's accurate. Alright, so this is finished. I have my Touchmark filed into the end of that. On the other end, I have this flat spot I ground in, and that is just so I can tell which way to orient this punch, to where if this flat is facing forward, that means that my punch is, or my Touchmark is going to face, the top of it will face that direction. Now, it gave a nice mark into the steel. It's a lot smaller than my other Touchmark. Here is my other mark for comparison. It's much skinnier, a little bit more delicate, and I don't have to be so heavy-handed as I am with this one. This one, I mean, you gotta hit it pretty hard. This one, you can just barely give a nice tap, and for the smaller projects that I have, I think this one's gonna be really nice. I'm gonna keep using the other one, but I'll have that one as a backup. And I tempered this at right around 400, 450. I was getting a little bit of a gold color, so I was right around 450 probably. And that's fine to toughen this thing up. Figure that this isn't like some hot work tool that you're going to use all the time. You're just going to give it a quick tap into the steel, then you're done. I hope you enjoyed this week's video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next week.